going on, guys? In my previous video I have shown you guys about how to add and subtract complex numbers. Here what we are going to see is we are going to see how to multiply complex numbers. Now let's look at an example. Okay, let's say we have a number 5y and we want to just square this. 5y square, 5 square is 25, and I square is -1. So 25 times -1 we will get -25. And let's look at another one. Let's say we have a number like 3i multiplied by 5i multiplied by -7i. Now 3 times -7, -21, and I time I, we have I square time I cube, we have I cube here, and also we have 5. -21 times 5, and then we have I cube. Now we know that I square is -1. -1 times I is -I. So we are going to have -21 times 5, that is 105. So since we have negatives, this is -105. And I cube is -I, because I square is -1 and 1 I remains, so -1 times I, -I. -I times -105, we will get positive 105 I, and that's the answer for this one. Now let's look at another problem. Let's say we have something like this. Let's say we have 5i times 4 minus 2i. First what we have to do is we just have to multiply each term by 5i. So the first one is going to be 20i, and then we are going to have minus 10i square. 20i remains the same, and 10 times I square, and we know that I square is -1, so 10 times -1, 20i, and -1 times 10, -10, negative plus 10. So we are going to have plus 10 right here. So the final answer is 20i plus 10, and we always write the real number in front. So 10 plus 20i, that's our final answer. Now let's look at another example. Let's say we have something like this: 5 minus 3i multiplied by 4 plus 7i. Here what we have to do is we just have to FOIL first, then we have to simplify. If we FOIL this one, 5 times 4 we are going to get 20, and 5 times 7i, that's going to give us 35i, and then -3i times 4, that's -12i, and then -3i times 7i, we are going to get -21i square. And whenever we let's add the like terms, 20 and 35i minus 12i, we are going to get 23i, and then here we have -21. I square is -1, so we can simplify this one furthermore. 20 plus 23i, and here we have negative multiplied by -21, that's positive 21. So positive 21 plus 20, that's 41, plus 23i. That's the answer for this one. Now let's look at another one. Let's say we have something like this. Let's say we have 6 minus 5i multiplied by 3 plus 8i. Again we had to FOIL this one first. 6 times 3, 18, and then 6 times 8i, 8 times 5 is 40, 8 times 6 is 48, so we are going to get 48i right here. And then 5i times 3, that's -15i, and then 5i times 8i, we are going to get -40i square. And here let's add the like terms. 48i minus 15i, 18 remains the same. 48i minus 15i, we are going to get 33i right here. And then I square is -1, so 40 times -1, here negative negative become plus, so this is going to be 18 plus 33i plus 40, and 40 plus 18 is 58 plus 33i. That's our answer for this one. Now let's look at another example. Let's say we have a question like this, like 4 plus 5i whole square. Now we know that if we have square like this, we can expand like 4 plus 5i times 4 plus 5i. Again, same approach as we did before. We just have to FOIL it first. 4 times 4 16, and 4 times 5i, that's 20i, and 5 times 4 5i times 4, that's 20i again, and then 5i times 5i 25i square. I just want to grab this. Okay, plus 25i square. Let's add the like terms. 16, 20i plus 20i, we will get 40i, and then 25i square. 25i square is negative 1, so we are going to get 16 plus 40i minus 25. 16 minus 25 is going to be minus 9, so we are going to get minus 9 plus 40i. Okay, now we are going to see, let's see some more. So I'm going to erase this first two here. Okay, let's go ahead and see something else. Let's say we have something like this. Let's say we have 5 minus 3i cube. If it's cube, we have to we can expand like 3 times the same thing. 5 minus 3i, 5 minus 3i, 5 minus 3i. How are we going to deal with this? We are going to just FOIL first two first. So 5 times 5 25, 5 times minus 3i, we will get negative 15i, and negative 3i times 5, that's negative 15i again, and negative 3i times negative 3i, we will get positive 9i square. I'm not going to touch the other one, I keep the other one as it is, my 5 minus 3i, and I'm going to just simplify the first one first. So 25 minus 15 minus 15, we are going to get minus 30i, and then plus 9, I square is negative 1, so we're going to get negative 1 right here, and 25 minus 30i minus 9, I keep the other one as it is, 5 minus 3i, 5 minus 3i. Here we can simplify this one furthermore, like 16 minus 30i, that's a simplification, and here we have 5 minus 3i. Now what we can do is we can FOIL these two. So 16 times 5 80, and then 16 times negative 3, that's negative 48 I, minus 30 times 5, we are gonna get 150, that's negative 150 I, and then negative 30 times negative 3, that's positive 90 I square. Now let's add the like terms. 80, 150 plus 48, that's negative 198 I, and 90 I square is negative 1, so I put negative 1 right here. So this is gonna become 80 minus 198i, and then here we are gonna get negative 90. 80 minus 90, that's negative 10, so we are gonna get negative 10 negative 198i, and that's our final answer. That's this one, and we are just gonna see one more. Let's see a problem like, let's say we have a problem like this. Let's say we have conjugate like 3 plus 4i, and conjugate mean opposite, like exactly the same thing, only the sign changes. 3 minus 4i. 3 minus 4i is conjugate of 3 plus 4i. So whenever we have conjugate, we can directly write like this: 9 the first term square and minus the second term square, that is 16i square. We can directly write like this, and That's gonna give us what? 9 minus I, this I square. So 16 I square is negative 1. So negative is gonna be positive. So 9 plus 16 is gonna give us 25. This is short term method. Like whenever you have a conjugate, you can directly write like this. But to see the explanation, I'm gonna write it in a long method. Long method, what we do, we FOIL it. Like FOIL it is basically we multiply this one first, and then this one first. Let's do this. 3 times 3, 9, and 3 times negative 4i, we are going to get negative 12i, and plus 4i times 3, we are going to get plus 12i, and 4i times 4i, that's 4i times negative 4i, negative 16i square. Now you can see the middle term cancels. Minus 12i plus 12i. It always happens for the conjugate. Whenever you have 3 plus 4i and the conjugate of this one is same term, only the middle term changes, like plus become minus. So whenever you have something like this, the middle term always cancels. The 12i cancels. Like that, you can try many different things. Whatever the things you try, you will see the middle two terms cancels. So you will only get the square of first one and the last one and minus in between. So this is basically 9 minus 16 I square again. 9 minus 16 I square is negative 1. So we are going to get 9 minus minus plus. So 9 plus 16, that's 25. And that's how we can do multiplication in complex numbers. I'm going to do more of complex numbers in my next video. I hope you guys find this video helpful. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. See you guys in my next video.